Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Average Joe Watch Reviews, where we do more than just reviews. Today we're doing the full review of the Christopher Ward Moonglow watch. Alright, so just a little bit about the Christopher Ward Moonglow. It is part of the C1 Grand Malvern dress watch line, and it is definitely unique. It does feature two moons that are three-dimensional on the dial, and they're actually positioned opposite of each other. So they're actually coated with a grade X1 GL C1 Superluminova. Now that's a mouthful. What that means is it's a really high quality Superluminova luminescent material that you can see at night. And it really does glow strong and true. It's a traditional size at 40.5 millimeters. And it's got that moon catcher, it's got a light catching case, meaning it's got polished and brushed accents on the case. So it's very, very comfortable, but also very stunning piece to wear. It does track the moon for 128 years. So if you kept this wound for 128 years, it's going to keep the accurate phase of the moon for that period of time. So that's pretty impressive. The watch is going to outlast you pretty much before you even see any type of discrepancy with the moon phase for sure. So with no further ado, let's dive into the review to see whether or not this watch lives up to the hype. All right, so let's dive into the Moonglow and just give you guys some features. As I mentioned, this does have Superluminova. It's a really high-grade Superluminova. And as you can see here, it also has that modified JJ04, which is basically a Sellita SW220 movement. And what they did was they just stripped out a few of the wheels and added 4 more so that the movement can power the moon phase. So very, very fascinating watch in general, and definitely you can see why it costs so much money to produce. So as you can see, it's a beautiful timepiece. I mean, I have a 7-inch wrist, and we're gonna put it on and show you that it fits absolutely flawlessly on the wrist. It's a very just classic size, and as you can see, it does have the light catching case with the polishing and brushing. So it's a beautiful looking watch. We'll take some measurements of it, but I believe it said it was a 40.5 on the site, but I always like to double check. I would say definitely 40.5 millimeter case. And our thickness is right at a 13 millimeter. Yeah, 13 millimeters. Our lug to lug is indeed right around 47 millimeters. And our thickness, lug width is going to be a 20 millimeter lug width. And you can even see that on the inside here of the band, where it has here 20. Now this is indeed an Italian stitched shell cordovan. Shell cordovan. I don't know what that means, but it's definitely Italian leather. Feels good on the wrist. It is well done. And it does have this great deployant clasp. I like it a lot. It actually works flawlessly. It is brushed and polished, so it does have that light catcher theme going on in there as well, with the Christopher Ward logo here. And you can even see some of the protective tape is still in here, which is fine. So that is definitely an upgrade over your standard leather straps. The fact that they give this to you will help to preserve this leather. Typically when you have leather straps with a buckle, you will get this type of action where you see premature wear, and you will also see that it is denting the leather. That does happen pretty often with leather straps, whereas this, you will not see that, and it does help to preserve the leather a lot longer. So when I can, I try to upgrade to these deployant clasps, but it's nice that Christopher Ward gives one to you. So before we start with the front of the dial, I think the rear of the dial, or the caseback, is definitely something to talk about. So as you can see, there's a lot of different decoration going on here, and it plays with the light very nicely. And you can see that Christopher Ward is on the rotor itself, and the rotor has kind of like a waffling pattern on the inner side of it, and it's kind of takes a couple steps down, and it's very minimalistic in a way, but it does get the job done, and it does go with the whole Moonglow dark theme. And there you are with the mainspring, and there's your wheels. I count 1, 2, 3. There's 4 right there, and those are in charge of what I think is in charge of the moon phase, but also with the movement as well. Okay. Here is your crown with the Christopher Ward logo. It's got the coin edging on it. Very nicely done. Here is your brushing and your polishing. As I said, polishing on the top of the lug, brushing on the case side. And you even have some polishing on the underneath. So it definitely has like a multi-dimensional look to it. Kind of like, here's one dimension, here's a second dimension, and there's a third dimension, which is the bezel. So as you can see, with the dial itself, it is all dial, but it doesn't wear large. It actually wears true to its size. Now, the outer numbers here are going to be your date. So in order to find out what date it is, you can see where the red indicator is, which today is January the 6th, as I'm recording this. So when we shut the lights off, I will show you how this looks at night. And as you can see, the Super Luminova is shining bright, and it's shining strong, and this will last you through the night. This is a really good lume. They definitely did not pinch pennies on this lume for sure. So as you can see, right today, we are right about at a half moon. So in order to adjust for the moon phase, we would need to click out one click. And if we go downward, we will indeed be changing the moon. Easiest way to set your moon phase is wait till nighttime, look up at the sky, and see exactly what the moon looks like, and then just correspond your moon accordingly. So right here would be considered a new moon, which is no moon at all. And then as you can see, on this side is where the second moon comes, and this is where you'll get that. There you go. You see? And then this will go around, right? And then it'll go to your second part of the phase, which you'll start seeing the shadowing of the moon on the other side. But there's also websites you can go to as well that'll tell you where the moon is at a particular time if you really want to get an exact measure. To set the time, you click the crown out again, and you can see it's indeed a hacking movement, and here is where you'll adjust the time. So the date changes. Let's see, I always like to check that out. You can see it's starting to change right at the 11:45 mark, and it actually changes just after 12 o'clock, right at 12:01. So definitely not good to see that. And as you can see, it's got a nice smooth sweep. You can see it does have some anti-reflective coating on the dial, and it's just on the underside of the dial. And I never really had trouble seeing this under light, but it's definitely not the best of anti-reflective, but it's also better than not having any at all. So I have no criticism of that whatsoever. I actually had this on the beach. I had absolutely no issue reading the time or any parts of the dial. So Christopher Ward did an excellent job creating this piece and making this very readable under all lighting situations, in my opinion. So as you can see, it definitely is a fingerprint magnet, especially on those polished surfaces, as you can see. But I'll tell you guys, I'd be hard pressed to find another moon phase that looks this good and offers you these features that checks off all those boxes, but also looking very, very unique. As I said, this looks really good on my wrist, and I know this is marketed as a dress watch, but I really truly believe that you can wear this virtually with anything. And I have, I think this is a watch that you could take anywhere, but also you can dress this up with a tuxedo. Very versatile watch, and it's something that you can put different straps on as well. It does come with the quick release bars, and you can fit other straps on this watch if you chose to do so. So if you wanted to put a brown strap on it, for instance, this is what it would look like. Okay, and I have that wrong. It would have to be like that. Buckle up, guys. Remember that always. The buckle should always be up. Remember to buckle up always when you're riding a car. That looks great on a brown strap, right? If you wanted to do, I don't know, I'm just grabbing random straps here. How about a green alligator strap? I think that looks absolutely incredible as well. And this is from Desari, which is the Straps Co brand. I'll put a link down below if you're interested in any of these straps. Here is a vintage looking strap that you can put on this watch. And again, I think it looks pretty decent. Not my favorite. This is not my favorite look, but I think it looks good. And then let's just doing some random straps here. Here's another one from the Desari brand. So again, we're looking at leather. Okay, so here's another Desari strap, and these are too big. That's why I'm not able to put these on, but check that out. There you go, right? So this is a Desari strap from the Straps Co brand. So, I mean, I would have to say this is definitely a strap monster. You could totally switch out different straps for this, but I think it looks definitely the most classic with the Christopher Ward strap that comes with it. This one also comes with a Milanese shark. Well, not this particular one, but you can buy this one with a Milanese shark bracelet, shark mesh, and that looks really nice as well, and it also helps to dress it down. So however you choose to wear this watch, I think this watch is incredible, great value. Unfortunately for me, I'm just not in the financial situation to purchase this watch due to the events of 2021, but this is definitely a watch that I would like to have in my collection eventually, and I think I will within the next couple years or so. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm going to share some final thoughts with you right now. But before I do so, in order to get the case back off, which I wouldn't recommend doing, it is 4 screws right there. All right, so it's not a twist off case. You definitely need a screwdriver for this. So I'll get back in front of the camera and give you guys some final thoughts on the Christopher Ward Moonglow. All right, so some final thoughts on the Christopher Ward Moonglow. Is this a watch that I'm going to purchase? At this current time, I've decided not to purchase the watch. It's a little bit too much money for the situation that I'm in currently due to the events of 2020. So I don't think it would be a very responsible decision for me to purchase this watch at the current time, but this is definitely a watch that I want to have in my collection eventually. So it's a watch that I will strive to try to pick up maybe on a secondary market. I'm not one to purchase watches at MSRP. And even though it's still up in the air as to whether or not I'm going to be given a discount on this watch because I reviewed it, it would have to be a significant discount for me to even consider it. And I don't, I'm not giving my hopes up. I don't expect a huge discount. It would be nice, but I don't expect it. So at this time, I don't think that this is going to be a watch I'm purchasing anytime soon. This actually is a watch that I loved from the start when I first saw it. And now that I have it on my wrist, I really have a true appreciation for this watch. I think it really has lived up to its hype. Remember one thing. There's always time to be kind to one another. Please be kind in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews. God bless, my friends.